tier maker Big 12. Ute.
Okay, here's the playing field, guys. So there's 13 schools that we are going to tier make rank here. And there are 5 criteria. Must have is the top criteria. The Big 12 has to have them. It must. Then next down is tier 2, primary targets. Third tier, high value fallbacks. Fourth tier, strategic ads. And last tier, last resort. If you've been with us the last few weeks, we did the same tier maker for the SEC and the Big 10 conference. And now it's time for the Big 12. So we didn't grab every school. You'll notice schools like Notre Dame, Florida State, and Clemson are not on this list. Florida State and Clemson are not on this list. We had a discussion amongst our community, and we did not feel they were legitimate Big 12 candidates. So you can argue with that. That's fine and everything. That's just how the community saw it. So they are not on the list. If they happen to be on this list, they'd be must-haves. Let's just get that out of the way. If Florida State and Clemson ever had an opportunity to go to the Big 12 would have to get it done no matter what. That's no-brainers and stuff. But we're looking at 13 schools that we think are realistic targets, and we're going to put them in these 5 tiers. And we're starting hot with a Big 12 realignment candidate over the last few years that's been discussed, a basketball blue blood, a new market, a massive market, the UConn Huskies. So, guys, let's just rapid-fire this one. We'll start with Daniel Gygax. Daniel, where does UConn fall in the tier maker?
Strategic ad or last resort. Their football attendance is horrible. Yes, they are the best men's and women's basketball program in America, bar none, end of story. But football is driving the realignment bus. UConn football is just not a big enough program to add. This isn't about academics. This isn't about markets. This is about how much your football means to America.
Okay.
Okay. Nate?
You know what? I like UConn. I don't think they can be high because of the competition, right? At some point, we have to talk about what's the comparison. So unfortunately, I put UConn at the, whatever the least desirable would be. It's hard for me to grade these tiers, but they would be near the bottom just because of the football brand.
So you're right with Gygax then, probably that last resort.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
Okay, Simone.
I'm going to go against the crowd here. I think high value fallback. And I will say this because I think the Big 12 needs to stand out. And I think the Big 12 has the possibility. You see some other powerhouses on here like Duke and Syracuse of becoming the premier basketball conference in America year in and year out.
Okay.
Guys, I'm going to have to follow up with Moen here and say they're a high value fallback. And the reason for it is the opportunity with private capital with the UConn Huskies. The Huskies are they're in Connecticut. They bring the New York market too. So you're getting multiple markets. You're getting the Northeast, and a lot of sponsorship ad revenue could be coming to the Big 12 if UConn were to join the conference. So that lifts them up multiple tiers, even though the football stinks. We all know that. The basketball's great. Academics are really good. There's a lot more that they add than some of these other targets that we'll talk about. But I'm actually at a high-value fallback instead of just a last resort. So I'm wondering, based on all of these different ideas, if we meet in the middle and put them as a strategic ad.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Strategic ad for UConn, a little bit different placements for them, but that's where they end up. So now, for all the West Virginia fans out there, it's your best buddy here, your rival, the Pitt Panthers. The Pitt Panthers are a school that largely seems like their football product, their brand is kind of slowly declining. They are a borderline Big 12 entry. They are not an SEC or a Big 10 candidate. So this one's really hard to grade because West Virginia Pitt rivalry comes in the backyard brawl, brings something, but you kind of already occupy the market in West Virginia. There's some other targets here that might be ahead of Pitt. But we're going to go with Nate this time. And Nate, where do the Pitt Panthers fall on the tier maker list?
I wish this was 1 to 5. I would say 2.5. I think they're just above UConn, but it's more about their attitude. They don't want to be in the Big 12. They're a lot like Utah. So, look, the Big 12 can be choosy at this point, in my opinion. So that's where I'd put them, between 2 and 3.
Okay, so you're at the high-value fallback or the strategic ad in those realms. Okay.
Yep.
Moen?
Yeah, I agree. Just like Utah, Pitt is very high academically, AAU, but they can't get into the Big 10 because of Penn State. So I've got them as a high-value fallback, but I think they're right in between primary target and high-value fallback. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why really quickly. The backyard brawl is a big deal. It's a big rivalry, and Bob Thompson has told us rivalries make you money.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He sure did. Gygax?
Outside of that one game, what does Pitt athletics add to the Big 12?
Not much.
No, third best team or third most cheered for team in their own city behind Penn State #1, easy, WVU #2. Let's get right down to it. I would say strategic ad, maybe high. I would put them above UConn.
There you go.
I'm with you guys, but I don't know if they are above UConn. Like, I think that we have them in the right tier, but who is better candidate for the Big 12? Who adds more value, UConn or Pitt?
Between those two, if that's what we're doing in this exercise, I actually would take UConn over Pitt.
So would I. I'm serious about that.
If that's how you're measuring it.
Like, yeah, I mean, if they're in the same tier, we're stacking them up. Do you want UConn or Pitt at the end of the day? Like, which one has more value? I think it's UConn.
At least with Pitt, you will get the eyeballs with the backyard brawl. That's the only thing you get. UConn doesn't have that rivalry with anybody else that's in the league. That's the only reason why I would say a little bit above UConn is you do have that one game.
All right.
But other than that, they don't mean much.
Daniel, do you think that Pitt would play West Virginia if they weren't in the Big 12? Say that UConn got left behind in some type of ACC. Do you think that Pitt would be interested in that game still?
They're playing it this year. They've got it scheduled out for what is it? You got a 2-year gap, and then it picks up for another 4 games. So yeah, they've scheduled it out of conference. So yes, there's a lot of interest between Panthers and Mountaineers athletics to have that game. They do it in basketball. They do it in every other sport going. Heck, WVU and Pitt played baseball there at PNC Park.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth having.
All right,
guys, where are we going here? Are we going behind UConn or in front of UConn here for Pitt?
It's 3-1. It's 3-1. Everybody's got UConn except me. I would put Pitt in front of them. Just me, but I'm not going to argue.
Okay, there we go. So Pitt actually strategic ad behind UConn. That's a shocker. But when you do the analysis, when you talk it through, it makes sense. And we're on to Tulane. Tulane was one of the last ads on this tier maker list. They made the list based on a variety of factors. And Moen, why don't you highlight some of the strengths of Tulane?
Louisiana. You get into Louisiana, rich recruiting ground, huge markets in New Orleans. They're very good academically, and I know we're not talking about academics, but good academics can help the Big 12. You just added 4 corners from the Pac-12 that are all academic powerhouse schools. So I'm not going to list Tulane as a high-value fallback or anything like that, but I do see it as a strategic ad. It also adds a really good travel partner for UCF.
Okay, Nate?
I don't see it. I put him at the bottom. I don't know why the Big 12 would bring in Tulane.
Daniel.
Big 12 had a chance to bring in Tulane. They were passed over, and they were passed over for a reason. They would be a last resort.
Yeah, they're a last resort, guys. They are the first and the last resort column at this point in time. While I do bring a market in Louisiana that you don't have, I just don't think the brand's big enough. The ratings aren't that great for Tulane. And they're fine, but they're not Big 12 caliber or anything like that. There's some growth opportunity there, good academics, but they just don't clear the Big 12 hurdle. So last resort, that's where they fall. We're going to do one more, and then let's get to some comments. The Cal Berkeley Bears, back-to-back. We talked about them last week with the Big Ten. They were the last resort for the Big Ten. So they've made their way onto the Big 12 tier maker. Where are they falling? Let's start with Gygax.
Wow.
Cal.
I'm 20 miles from their campus, and that football program has taken a nosedive. Like I said, it's not about markets because there is no network, a Big 12 network. So it's all standalone product. If there's a Big 12 network, then you would want the subscribers that you have in a top 10 market. And it's not about academics because Big 12 doesn't care about academics. It's about their football. But it does get you into California. And that will help. You will have another after dark game available I can go see WVU every once in a while, play in Berkeley. But
got to make a decision, Daniel. We got to go.
Strategic ad. Strategic ad.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Moen, what do you think about Cal?
Last resort.
Last resort. Holy cow! Why?
One, I don't think Cal brings anything to the table. Yeah, you get into California, that's great. You talk about Utah not wanting to be in the Big 12. Can you imagine Cal in the Big 12?
No.
You're just going to have it's just not a good fit for either party. Just
true.
That was a toxic relationship waiting to happen. Both of you go your separate ways.
Nate.
Same. I'm exactly with Moen.
Your last resort too? Are they ahead of Tulane or behind Tulane?
I think they're behind. They are going to be last on the list, and this list could have 50 schools on it.
Man, that's crazy. I was not going to put them in last resort, guys. I was thinking strategic ad, but like I've got a little history playing Cal a lot in the Pac-12, and the recruiting aspect of going back to Northern California recruits attractive to a school like Utah, because that's a pipeline that's kind of closed up since the Big 12.
Let me ask you this, though, Ute. Let me ask you this. Are they going to help the conference or hurt it? Are they going to be a cancer? Only complaining and bitching and moaning. And look, the strength of the Big 12 is we're all together. It's the unity that makes the Big 12 strong.
Well, they'd be definitely looking to get out of the Big 12 as soon as
That's
possible.
what I'm saying. So what's the point then? Why add them?
It's true. I mean, that's a great point. So I'm okay with putting them last based on that logic. That's wild, though. I mean, like, it's true, but it's wild when you actually talk it out, how Cal really isn't going to get in the Big 12 for that reason. Let's get to some comments, guys.
All right. Super chats, and we've got a bunch of them galore. We're going to work from the latest one to the first one we had. Kerry Go Knowles, I haven't seen you for a minute. I saw you on Greg's show today. I miss you, so I appreciate you being here tonight, Kerry. Thanks for being around and an OG at this point in the Mafia Nation. Spot the damn ball already. We're talking about who wants to watch football.
I want to watch football. 1 week, baby. 1 week.
I know Kerry's waiting to hear this.
There we go. One of the best of everything at any university football game. Absolutely one of the best. LA Horned Frog, a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. I don't know if that's our normal frog, but love the show. Go Frogs. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Ryan Willie checking in, representing Wisconsin in the Big Ten. One of the most loyal members of the College Football Mafia family, $2 super chat. Pitt because of football. So Ryan thinks maybe that the value in the game sort of overrides some of the other challenges.
Maybe. They do have one big game, and that's it.
Absolutely. Let me play. I got to play a sounder here real quick.
Yeah, go. Do it.
Let me get one for Horned Frog.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
And here's one for Ryan.
Okay. Gotta love Wisconsin Badgers. Cobra Cat, $5 super chat. OSU should take Jensen Huang, who happens to be, I think, the second richest person in the world or something. He's the NVIDIA CEO. To the Willamette River for Lady Beavers. He'll find his one with iron teeth for gnawing oak and tail, and that slaps wood good. I will tell you right now, Oregon State could be the premier program in the country if they could get that guy to invest in sports.
Dang.
Yeah. And
it's incredible.
I got to be honest, I don't even know what sound effect to play for that. So,
well, he's Oregon State.
I guess Whoa Nelly.
Whoa Nelly.
Oregon State plays a chainsaw every like 5 seconds there.
Like USC, every first down, it's the same damn song over and over and over again. And then Doc Gibbs didn't make a comment, but we appreciate the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Doc. It's great to have you here tonight.
Doc is a North Carolina State guy.
That's right.
Okay, so we're coming up on North Carolina State here in a minute.
No way, Moen. You've got a North Carolina State?
I got the Wolfpack.
Do it again.
There we go.
Ooh.
Sweet.
I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you, Doc, for being here. NC State is represented, and I think you'll find out how much we'd love to have him in the Big 12. Becky Go Huskies, contributor extraordinaire, somebody else that also is a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family staff. $5 super chat says, LFG can't wait to see the picks. Thank you, Becky.
Absolutely. And we got to do a Washington sounder. Here's the siren.
There you go. I love it. Washington, one of the greatest places to watch a ball game. Did you get there, Ute, to watch one of the Utah games?
I did not. It's sad.
It is sad. You would. It's a trip. If you have a go-to trip, that going to Seattle is it. Purple Cat Claws, $5 super chat. That would be the Kansas State Wildcats. Is that right?
That's right.
108 consecutive years of college football rivalry tradition, possibly ending. Save Farmageddon. Yeah, that would be I would hate that, huh?
You can't lose Farmageddon. It makes no sense. This conference needs rivalries. This is what top 3 rivalry in the whole conference. Why are we even talking about this?
Because they put BYU and Utah on October 17th.
Yeah.
It's broken. It's absolutely broken. And then another $10 super chat from Opie, who didn't make it in at the very beginning, but I appreciate his super chat. Opie is a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. $10 super, $14.07.
That's the best super chat number I've ever seen, Opie.
I apologize.
$14.07.
I'm with you. I mean, we've received $100 super chats before that were like epic, but $14.07. I will never. Thank you, Opie. We appreciate you, brother. This is to bring up all the super chats to the $5 overtime chat. So we have 8 more now. Let's keep it going, baby.
Okay, so I got to play a sounder for Purple Cat first.
Go for it.
We don't want to let the Farmageddon be out here Munson, guys.
Okay.
It's a tough world. These kids nearly got Munson, but they're back now.
What is that?
And then
from?
for Opie, we've got to do a little LSU. We're going to give him the Go Tiger.
That's a good one, too. Deathbound.
Followed by a Tiger Roar.
There you go. That sounds like a lion to me, but okay. I won't say it's a tiger. He is. He's prepped for tonight. All right, that's all the super chats. So why don't you dive back in? Oh, wait. Let me do a quick reset. If you're watching right now, and we've got well over 200 people watching us live, make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Ring that bell to become a new subscriber. Follow all of us on Twitter. And then if you're on X, jump over to YouTube, and that's where we do most of our work. So if you come over there, help us out, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs, and we're just about 100 right now away. So help us get over the top, be the 5,000, and that would really help us. So thank you for being here tonight for this tier maker. It's special. Ute.
Look at this tier maker, y'all. So we've got 2 schools in the strategic ads, UConn ahead of Pitt. First shocker. Then last resort, we've got Tulane ahead of Cal Berkeley. It's another shocker. They both make sense. Let's move on. Okay, the Miami freaking Hurricanes. Let's talk Miami here. Nate, why don't you get a little bit of analysis on the Hurricanes in the Big 12?
That's a dream pickup. I mean, there's absolutely no question. If the Big 12 somehow could get Miami to come play Big 12 football, immediately, overnight, perceptions would change. It wouldn't be a Midwest flyover state truck stop conference. You bring in a Miami even just for a football ad only. Although I think they'd love to play basketball in the Big 12. Immediately they'd be the number one brand. They could drive the bus, and I absolutely would love that. Miami, in my opinion, is a blue blood, so it's pretty shut case for me.
Gygax.
Easiest must add on the list.
Moen.
Yeah, it's no question. If Miami's available and you can get Miami, you knock your own mother over and run over.
Yeah, that's true. He's right. Moen, you're exactly right. That's exactly right.
Miami would be the biggest pickup in realignment, over the course of all these realignments for the Big 12. It's just a massive brand, massive ad. It's a must-have market. Gosh, just the opportunity is exciting just to think of them coming over to the Big 12. It'd be hard to pluck them away from the Big 10. Or maybe something else if they wanted to form it. But if you can get the Hurricanes in conference, must have, get it freaking done. There we go. Our first must have is Miami, the Hurricanes. And now can we get like that Wolfpack sounder again? I love that freaking sounder. While we
it's a good one,
NC State.
Yep. I love it.
Okay, so Moen, why don't we start with you? NC State and the Big 12.
Must have.
Yep.
Outside of Miami on this list, this is the best fit for the Big 12. Get you into North Carolina, passionate fan base for football and basketball, must have for the Big 12.
Gygax.
Must have. They have the highest attendance of any school in the state of North Carolina. Their fans are very passionate. They love that team. and they are going to easily be in.
Nate?
I mean, that's a must-have. Miami's not, in my opinion, it's Miami, Miami, Louisville.
Hey, don't give it away too soon. You don't give it away. We got a lot to talk about. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, it's just right there behind Miami. There's no question.
So NC State was either going to be a primary target for me or a must-have. You guys gone must-have. I can totally see it. I don't know if it's on the same tier as Miami. They'd be behind Miami, but hey, they're one of the top two, right? It's like, so I'll throw them in must-have. Moen, can we get that Wolfpack sounder again? Just one more time. I got to hear it again. It's just so good.
I think Nate wants the tortoise sounder again.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm going to do North Carolina State.
Okay. There we go.
Man, North Carolina State. Yes. With the football brand, the good basketball, and the market of Carolina. All right. So let's talk now about the Oregon State Beavers. Oregon State made an attempt before to get into the Big 12 Conference. Didn't quite make it at that time. Where do they fall today? Where does Oregon State fall today? Let's start with Daniel.
High value fallback. They're great. And I've seen Oregon State play down here in the Bay Area. They have great fans. I don't know if they're going to rise enough to be added to the Big 12. Big 12 said no once already. So I don't see that they've done anything to help that situation. Oh, yeah, by the way, they're in court right now with all that Pac-12 Mountain West. If they were to leave, that would blow up that whole entire agreement.
Moen.
They're in between Tulane and Cal on last resort.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Oregon State just does not do it for me. There's a reason that they're forming a G6 conference. Sorry, Beaver fans. It's just, I don't think you're up to the same level as Big 12 teams.
Really, Moen?
Yeah, I said it, and I'll get lots of angry comments about it, and I'll try and respond to them. But Oregon State, I don't think they're on the level that they need to be in order to be into the Big 12.
Nate.
I would put them in the high value fallback. I think all they need is resources. They won in the Pac-12, right? They have a fantastic fan base. The location is absolutely gorgeous. It's another trip to make going to Corvallis. Ute and I are both, mountain fans, and I definitely see them in that middle tier.
Crazy fan base, great baseball, good football.
Baseball, right?
Yeah, elite baseball. And like in the state of Oregon, it's a beautiful place and everything. I really like Oregon State. They were kind of like a brother to Utah in the Pac-12 era. So I'm a little biased and stuff. So I would rank them a little higher. I know that, Moen, you're saying the last resort. I'm thinking kind of meeting in the middle somewhere and putting them in strategic ad amongst all of ourselves here. But the question becomes, are they more of a strategic ad than UConn or Pitt?
No.
Okay.
If you're going to put them there, I don't think so, no.
So if we put Oregon State behind Pitt, strategic ads ahead of Tulane, which I think is actually correct. I think Oregon State would be ahead of Tulane in a realignment scenario, and then Cal's off the board, basically, we're saying, based on the lack of cultural fit. So Oregon State ends up in the third tier in strategic ads. All right, here's the fourth school in this batch, and then we'll get back to comments. A very interesting realignment candidate. They're kind of talked about to the SEC, the Big Ten, everywhere. The Duke Blue Devils, they're rich. They're in North Carolina. They're an elite blue blood basketball brand. Where do they fit in the whole hierarchy of the Big 12 Conference? And we'll start with Daniel.
Last resort or strategic ad.
What?
Their 5-year football attendance is below 24,000. They don't draw flies in Durham, North Carolina. And this is all about football. It's not about academics. It's not about basketball, because their basketball is great. Their football is just not good. So I would sit there and say maybe, if I could talk it up, maybe a strategic ad. It's all about football. They average less than 24,000 people per game the past 5 years. It's awful.
Nate.
Last resort.
What?
Right ahead of Cal. They don't want to be here, Ute. You don't want to be here. What are we talking about? These guys are elitist, and a lot of them could care less about any of the schools in the Big 12. And we don't need We don't need anything like that to muddy the water. That's my opinion.
But you can't pass on a commodity just because of that assumption. If they were
But
in
a
a
brand
situation,
just having a brand though by itself does not justify where you're trying to go as a conference. I just don't think so.
Man, okay. I've got a different take on this one. Moen, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not kicking Selena Gomez out of bed because she's eating crackers. This is a must-have. This is a must-have, you guys. This is the #1 most valuable brand in basketball. If you're going to put UConn as strategic ad for basketball, you've got to at least have Duke in the top 3 tiers. To me, this is a must-have. You get Duke basketball, it's very valuable. The football program is improving. Hey, the SEC went and stole Duke's coach, their football coach. Manny Diaz went, I believe, 8-4 last year. He's got that program on the up. I'm not going to pass on Duke because their football attendance is 24,000. I'm taking Duke because their basketball is the #1 most valuable basketball brand in America, and I would love to pair it with a Kansas and an Arizona and in all the great basketball schools you guys have in the Big 12. I'm sorry, it must have.
No one do the math. How many teams does the Big 12 go to?
Let's say 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
look at your
22.
list here. Where does Duke come in at the very top of that list?
I got him right next to North Carolina State.
I think that is absolutely nuts.
Moen,
And that's cool.
Let's talk
We can
about
disagree.
fit.
Here's
I
the
just
thing.
don't think there is a fit.
Duke is just Wake Forest with a better basketball. That's all
cold.
Duke is. That's all
what I
Duke
said.
is.
Yeah, but Duke still gives you a lot. Yes, I get it. It's an academic snobbery, prestige, private school. That basketball program, guys. Can you imagine Duke basketball in the Big 12?
What pays bills?
Yeah, what
Football,
pays the
basketball.
bills?
Listen,
Moen?
basketball pays bills too, guys. There is
Not at the
value
same
in
level.
basketball.
At
There's
a
not a lot of-
1/5 or a 1/4 rate.
There's
Yeah.
not a lot of huge football value in this entire list, guys.
So you have to look at the goal, right? Strategic planning. You're driving a business, a corporation. If you have to make business decisions, not emotional, not, hey, shiny toy, I'm going to grab the keys and go drive a new car. If you're only going to 20, if that's the basis of everything else, look at every team, and I don't see any way, shape, or form they can be on the top line.
They would be in my top 4. And I get, you might not agree with that, but listen, I think basketball has value. Your Mark has already stated he wants to split off the basketball rights, sell them separately. I think the Big 12, listen, you're not going to compete against the Big 10 and the SEC in football. I'm not saying that to insult people. I'm just saying that
But that's not what that's
and
not what I'm
value-wise,
saying though. It has
so
nothing to do with
carve
competition with the Big 10 and the SEC.
Okay.
It's about establishing the Big 12.
Sure, and you can carve yourself out as the best basketball conference in America.
But they
You
don't
can
want to do
have
that.
3 of the top 4 basketball brands in the country in your conference.
Yeah, I just look at the end of the day, as a Big 10 person, it's easy for you to sit and pass judgment and say that would be great for you guys. If they're so good, why don't you pick them up?
I would. I
Oh,
would. in a
come
heartbeat.
on. The Big
I
10
have
is
on my
not
Big Ten
taking
list.
Duke.
I was in a
No.
conference that was very basketball heavy, and what happened to that conference?
Yeah,
It fell
it just
apart. The Big East fell apart because basketball is great, but it doesn't pay the bills.
yeah, I'm
Does Duke fit in the Big 12? And like Nate brought that up, it's a great point. That's a swing factor. Are they going to be? Are they going to be content in the Big 12? Do they fit at all? Like maybe
It's not a matter.
schools.
It's not a matter of snobber. I don't care about any of that. It's how good is their football, and that's what you just have to ask. Yes, they're a great academic brand. Yes, they got a great hospital. How's their football?
Well, A&M just stole their coach last season, and Manny Diaz had a winning record his first season as head coach.
so they become a farm league. Then.
But here's my thing. If we're going to say Duke doesn't belong in the Big 12, how are you going to say Miami belongs in the Big 12?
Ute is pushing, or not pushing. Ute is literally saying if Ute, well, sorry, let me back up. If Miami's on the market, of course they'd be #1 for the Big 12. I'm saying Duke. If Duke was on the market, they would be after. Ute doesn't want me to say the names, but I see a bunch of other brands on there that would come before a Cadillac brand just because.
I agree with Nate on that one. I don't think that Duke's ahead of North Carolina State, and the Big 12 is not adding them both. It's straight up like that. Like North Carolina State is like a perfect fit for Big 12. Like you just don't need Duke as well. It doesn't lift the Big 12 in ways that it does the Big 10. It's just different priorities too between conferences. But I don't have them as a last resort. either Moen, I'm wondering if we get to some comments right now. I'm wondering if you can put a poll out to see if the community.
There's a good idea.
I
saw a great one here by Jeff Fuller. Agreed. Duke would be a must-have, largest brand and fan base in men's basketball, worth more than most all current Big 12 football programs.
Again, it doesn't matter.
Jeff, I'm going to disagree with you. There is a university 20 miles away that has a bigger brand. They are not even the biggest brand in their own metro. That's UNC.
Okay, so if you want to look at it like just buy Duke basketball, then say, hey, we'll take you as a basketball only ad.
That will
because
work.
what you're basically saying, the football program is just happens to be there. We have to take this into consideration. It's not about whether Duke is a valuable brand. Of course they're a valuable brand. What Jeff said is exactly right. Can't disagree with the fact of that. But if you look at them in comparison to all the other available schools for realignment, and you're only going to 20, you have to make a decision. There's only 4 teams that would fit on that top line. Must have.
I agree. And I think Duke is one of them, but I completely understand if you guys disagree.
Sure. Did you put the poll up? Sorry, I forgot to ask you.
Oh, I did not put a poll up.
Yeah, let's see. Let's let the
get some
fans
comments.
decide. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see the community, what they decide on this one. We're a mixed bag, guys. We're last resort. We're must-haves. We're in the middle. We need the community
Yes,
to
please.
determine where Duke is.
That's why we have the smartest fan bases and people watching on social media, is because we have these type of discussions with them. We're not telling you guys what to think. We're just saying this is our breakdown of it. Do you want to do super chats right now? You take a break?
Yeah, let's definitely do
some...
that while the polls up. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Auto Raider, $5 super chat says Duke is second only to Miami. This is a Texas Tech person now.
Yep.
This is how the Big 12 presidents would vote.
Man, this is like such a polar school, Duke, Big 12. I see it, guys. Like Jess Point, brand, basketball, money, academics. My only question, pushback is fit. The fit. It's a Cal type fit. And if so, we're going to knock Cal down all the way to the last resort, last team. Then how are we giving Duke a pass?
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not giving.
That's what I'm pressing on, though.
But
can I give? Can I give
football in
Auto Raider
Berkeley is
sounder
awful,
first?
though.
Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, let me give him a little.
Texas Tech.
Sorry, Auto Raider, tortillas not included.
Yeah, no throwing tortillas. Purple Cat Claus, another $5 super chat saying Duke is nothing without UNC. I would actually say that's true. If you could get UNC and Duke as a package, then they would be immediately at the top. But Duke by itself, coming to a conference that's trying to be an actual football conference, they're polar opposite things you're trying to accomplish there.
All right. Well, Purple Cat Claus, you will get the Sopranos soundbite that Nate wanted.
A grown man made a wager. He lost. He made another one. He lost again. End of story. So take that high moral ground and go sleep in a fucking bus station if you want.
Okay. Look, besides the language, I love Tony Soprano. I love that. All right. Becky Go Huskies take an exception with what I'm saying. I think the whole their elitist argument is not appropriate, says a University of Washington Husky. Business is business, guys. They'll join if the money is right. They don't care.
Exactly,
there's a lot of plural pronouns in there, Becky. Who's they? Who's they'll? Because I think, let me say this. 2 years ago, Brett Yormark tried to steal Gonzaga, UConn, and whoever else to build the best basketball, hands down, best basketball conference in America. And what did the president say? Almost unanimously, they said no. And it's because they want to build and be a football conference. So that's where the difference is, that what we're talking about with Duke, exactly, in my opinion. That's how I look at it.
Let me play Becky a sounder real quick.
Yeah, please do.
Tell them to bring me my money.
All right. Laura, I don't know if I got to this earlier, but I want to make sure I got it. Laura Wise says, how many of these programs would even want to be in the Big 12? That's another question.
Great point.
Are we really considering that, though? Like, I mean, because there's going to be a pushback from basically every ACC school, guys. We need to be honest about that. That's just part of the reality here. Which ACC school outside of like Louisville's like wanting to jump possibly? None. Like, and so this is real. Like, it's not just like, hey, willingness necessarily. It's like it's a must move for your own survival. Kind of like a Utah, like the Four Corner schools.
Right.
It's acquisition. This is acquisition based. So I don't know if that should weigh as heavy as you guys are kind of making it with a school like Cal and Duke and the rest of them we'll talk about. I mean, that's something to think about.
Okay, let me.
I work with a ton of Berkeley alums, that regular dudes, 99% of them.
Okay.
Let me play a sounder real quick, and then I will say something. I saw this in the chat earlier. I think it was Stormy Cyclone, but it's an oldie but a goodie.
They've been sucking you, and you're sick of it. I get it.
Let's go.
Thank you for the super chat, Laura. I will say this: any port in a storm, if your boat is sinking, you're going to take anything you can to get off that boat. Look at Colorado. Colorado left to go back to the Big 12. What did Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State do? These three schools that were all Pac-12 changed their tune within 24 hours.
Well, Utah didn't change their tune.
Well,
they've never changed.
They joined.
They did join, but it doesn't mean they changed their tune.
There you go. They may not have liked joining, but they did join.
I just don't think if Utah had just gone back-to-back championship games in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
When was the last time Duke won the ACC? Have they ever won the ACC in football?
Yes.
Maybe in my lifetime one time.
Yes.
I'm 54. I think maybe
they
they won once.
I can't remember the coach's
They've
name.
gone to a championship game once and lost.
There you go. So if we're a conference that's full of football teams, and that drives the bus, as Bob Thompson has said, you got to be a football brand. Anyway, Ryan Willie, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being a member of the College Football Mafia family. If you Big 12 fans don't want Duke, Moen and I will take Duke. You can have them, Ryan. Big 10, you guys can take them.
We want that wolf pack. We want that. Give that sounder again, Moen. That wolf pack sound.
Hold on.
One more time.
We got Opie.
Ryan gets his own sounder first. All right. Let me just
go ahead.
Chill
Yeah,
out.
go. No, go ahead.
And he said Moen, so we're going to do this. If it plays.
Every faucet in my house is Moen. Everything is Moen.
Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. Everything is Moen.
Here you go. This is answering your question. 1952 was the last time that Duke won a conference championship, and that was the old Southern Conference.
All right.
53 was first year at ACC. 2013, they won the division.
All right.
Let's get to that Opie super chat, guys.
I will. Just a second. I wanted to comment on this because we're all fans of Louisville to the Big 12. So what are we saying that pisses off a Louisville fan? I'm curious about that. I mean, let everybody think about that, but I don't understand why National Champions is upset because as far as Louisville goes, we all want Louisville in the Big 12. So
we haven't even talked about Louisville.
Nope, not there. OPD Don, again, a $25 super chat this time. Thank you so much, Opie. Must have Duke cannot be lower than number 3. It is world renowned. It raises the whole conference. It brings eyeballs. So Opie's saying what Moen's saying. You take what you take, and context doesn't really matter.
Man,
the biggest showing of how well your football program is attendance, and they average less than 24,000.
See, that's rough for an A4 school.
Yeah.
That's
past 5 years. Yeah,
that's absolutely rough. Thank you so much, Opie. Go ahead, Moen.
Yeah, Opie has just been the $1 Million Man tonight, so we're gonna...
You want to give him another sounder before? There we go.
We'll give him a little Roddy Piper too.
Whatever you want. I can't hear it.
Hold on.
You do not throw rocks at a man who's got a machine gun.
The great one. Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
Cajun bajillionaire Opie Didon. Thank you, sir, for that super chat.
The man with the kilt. I miss Roddy. Right. All right. You keep going.
Well, I think that we need to get this poll.
Greg Flugar has just given us $2 super chat. Greg Flugar, the OG. Thank you so much, Greg. Peek around the corner, by the way. Duke spent $4 million on their QB Mensa.
Yeah, Duke's rich. I mean,
it's not about whether they're rich or valuable or they're none of that. I'm not talking about any of that.
Listen. Here's the pushback on Duke. Okay, one last thing. Again, repeat this. It's NC State or Duke. You don't need them both for the Big 12. You're not taking Duke over NC State, in my view, based on fit. That's it.
All right. Let me give a sounder for Greg first, then I'm going to stop the poll.
Yeah, I was just going to say. I love that.
And we're going to end the poll, and it is...
Tell me.
Let me see. I got to see.
Tell me how wrong I am.
It was neck and neck. I'm waiting for YouTube to pop it up. They are tied.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean tied?
How many votes?
Must have 41%. High value 41%.
All right.
So
well,
I say put them primary target.
I say
Yeah.
priority target,
Right.
and let's move on.
Yeah. It's primary target for
Let's
Duke.
move Thank
They
you so
score
much,
well.
everybody, for voting. How many votes, Moen?
48 total votes on that.
Woo, that's good. That's
It's a good
good.
sample.
We're an hour in, everybody. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. If you're on X watching us right now, do us a favor, open another window, go to your YouTube app and go College Football Mafia. That's what we're doing right now. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs. I don't know what the count is this second, but we're probably below 100 at this point. Help us get to 5,000. We can do it right now. There's over 300 people watching us right now. Somebody out there that's watching on YouTube, just hit subscribe. It's free. And then you make sure you follow us on Twitter and turn on your notifications. Okay,
The Virginia Tech Hokies. The Hokies. The crazy fan base of the Hokies. Enter Sandman. The football. Beamer. Michael Vick. Everything that goes along with Virginia Tech. Man, they seem like the perfect fit-wise. But when you kind of peel back the onion, looking at the data, I'll get into it in a second. Let's get you guys' takes first here. So, Daniel, where does Virginia Tech fall?
Primary target. I don't think that they're a must add because they've fallen off the past couple of years. If you would have done this 20 years ago, they would have been one of the easiest targets going. It's been a rough go the past couple of years. Can they turn it around? Of course. They are the biggest program in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Everybody's talking about UVA, this. Virginia Tech football is worth it. But I cannot put them on the top line. Primary target.
Moen?
Listen, I'm going to put Virginia Tech as a high value fallback, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
And Hokie fans can leave me bad comments. What have you done since Frank Beamer? They have not solved that equation yet since Frank Beamer. So until they get a good coach in there that shows me they can really, really pull something off, I got them as a high-value fallback. If we're going to penalize Duke for football, we have to penalize Virginia Tech for football.
Yeah,
And
but they
Virginia
fill that
Tech-
building.
Virginia Tech's
Okay,
actually
but
won
They
stuff.
fill
though,
a building, though.
They have won stuff when
That's what
Frank
I'm
Beamer
saying.
was the coach.
Well, times come and go.
Well, how long has it been since Frank Beamer retired now?
I don't know, but there's how
15
long
years,
when was
10
the last
years.
national championship by Notre Dame? I mean, come on, what are we talking about here?
It's still a valuable brand, Notre Dame. Let's not compare Notre Dame and Virginia Tech.
I'm saying if you're talking about accomplishments,
We can talk
Virginia
about
Tech.
accomplishments.
Virginia Tech was in the national championship game,
And Notre Dame was in the
whatever.
national championship game last year.
I know, but Nebraska hasn't won anything since what? The Hoover administration. I mean, come on.
Mark Frost.
Since Pelini, yeah, I agree
So,
with you. Again,
20 year-
again, since Frank Beamer left, what has Virginia Tech done?
Okay, all right.
I've got him as a high value fallback. Sorry, Hokie
Nate,
fans.
Yeah, I mean, Nate, what do you think about this?
I think they're between Miami and North Carolina State. I think they're
Why is
Virginia
that?
Tech. I think Virginia Tech they could make a jump just like Arizona State.
I do agree. They seem like they're a brand just waiting to pop.
They feel explosive to me.
Yeah, but
Man,
they've been
you
wanting to
guys-
pop for 10 years and nothing's happened.
But again,
Yeah.
we're talking about the conference in football. We're picking 4 schools.
Yes.
Virginia Tech has to be in that 4.
Virginia Tech brings good academics. They don't really bring like a technically like a new market. I mean, I guess you could say maybe DC, maybe, or Virginia Tech. Like, if you make that argument, the football history has been good, but more recently the viewership's been down. But like Nate's saying, like there's just growth potential with VT. The fan base is strong still, loyal. And if they get hot, I mean, I think the viewership can really lift. It's just been so bad for the longest time, which is shocking. And so Virginia Tech, I can't put them as a must-have because of like the data that doesn't really scream this is like a no-brainer ad. But like the gut says Virginia Tech is just such a good fit that I can't put them too low to. I'm saying primary target ahead of Duke for sure in my mind's eye. So are you guys okay to put them in the primary target realm?
Yes.
Is that what we averaged out?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Basically kind of that.
Yeah,
But
ahead of
do
Duke, though, right? Ahead of Duke.
That's what we need to talk about. Are they ahead of
I
Duke?
think it's ahead of Duke.
I think it's ahead of Duke. And Moen thinks Duke's ahead of Virginia Tech. We know that.
Yep.
And Daniel, you're going to be the swing vote on this one.
Primary target.
Where? Ahead of Duke or behind Duke?
Ahead
We're
of
only
Duke.
on-
Ahead of
Yep.
Duke.
There you go.
Okay.
Excellent.
There we go. All right. So moving on here, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Moen, start us off. Big 12 Georgia Tech. What do you like?
It's a high value fallback. Atlanta market. Again, small enrollment. They do have some football history. I would put them as a high value fallback. But I will say the one positive for Georgia Tech, UCF is out there on an island. They need some travel partners, guys. You left West Virginia on an island for years, and you can't do the same thing with UCF. So you're going to have some kind of travel partner for UCF, whether it's a North Carolina school, a Georgia school, or somebody.
Well, it's Miami.
Plus Miami.
It's Miami.
I don't think Miami wants to be said in the same sentence as UCF, but I've got Georgia Tech as a high value fallback.
I'm just teasing.
Nate.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Moen. I think they're an excellent brand. I think they won a national championship at least since I've been born. So all those things are very, very important. But they're not on that top line if we're talking about four schools.
Gygax.
Primary target. They, like I said, they are in Atlanta. They have a big fan base. They love that team. The problem is Atlanta, they're the third place team in that town, just behind Georgia and Alabama in the city of Atlanta. But that market's big enough that everybody loves them. They fill the building very well. They get good viewership, especially last year. Last year, they did great in viewership because they were FSU in that overtime game with Georgia. Primary target, easy.
Tough call. I'm between high value fallback and primary target. You're in the Atlanta market. You're getting there. You're helping UCF out. Georgia Tech's kind of a fit, not a perfect fit, but kind of like it can make sense and everything. They're kind of like the four corner ads in my mind, like that type of school. Basketball's been okay. Football, yeah, it's a tough one. I'm either behind Duke here or high value fallback, and since we've got two guys already on high value fallback, I've got to say let's just put them in that column. Okay. It's close though, right there. So Georgia Tech falls. Do you guys want to get to comments now or after Louisville?
Let's do Louisville.
All right, Louisville. So the Louisville Cardinals. Nate, give us the update here with Louisville.
Yeah, they're right behind Miami. I think in my have gotten all four of them. My order is Miami, then we go Louisville, then we go Virginia Tech, and then we go North Carolina State. That's my four. So we're talking football, and that's all I really care about at this point. That's where I put them.
Okay, Daniel.
Easy behind Miami. That is the school that you want to add. They love their football there in Louisville. They love Louisville football in the whole state of Kentucky, across the river, Indiana. They love Louisville football.
Moen.
It's a must-have. Just football, basketball, great brand fit, gives you travel partners for West Virginia and Cincinnati.
I'm with you guys. Must-have. I'm leaning towards behind NC State as far as must-have.
I agree.
NC State brings that market, that North Carolina State, and like there's so much more upward potential with NC State than getting into the state of Kentucky. In my view, Louisville's a perfect fit, guys. Perfect fit. And so they're going to get into the Big 12. That's why they'd be in the must-have line. They just can't be ahead of like your Miamis and NC States. Like market is the difference here for NC State versus Louisville for me. Are you guys okay with that, or do we need to talk more about positioning there?
No, that's fine.
I'll live with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's get some comments.
All right, let's do it. Lonnie Johansson checking in here, a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. For how many months, Moen? 19 months, brother. Let's give him a Cougar.
Okay, let's start here. Kansas.
There you go.
BYU.
Yes. That's a Cougar. There we go.
Utah.
Oh, brother. All right, that's enough of that. You can turn that off. Thank you so much, Lonnie. We appreciate you being a member and your loyalty. Thank you. You've been here almost from the very, very beginning, so thank you for helping us keep this thing going, brother. We appreciate you. Let's see. We have a brand new super chat, $5 super chat from Purple Cat Claus. It says, Network wants great atmospheres and heated rivalries. Sorry, that's my timer for each one of the things. Networks want great atmospheres and heated rivalries. Vatek and Louisville, welcome to the Big 12. I could not have said it better. I think if you picture Saturday evenings on the East Coast or Central East time, maybe 6 p.m. Eastern, sun's going down, you hear Enter Sandman, or you walk into that Louisville and you see that big cardinal on the middle of the field. That gives me chills just talking about it. So I could not agree with Purple Cat Claws more. What do you guys think?
100%.
I agree. West Virginia's played Virginia Tech since 1912. So there's history.
I love that.
I will just say this from Columbus-born Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Macho Madness, yeah.
Somebody tells me they were playing in the backyard. They were wrestling with their best friends. That's what I'm getting from you, Moen. Every day I'm learning a little bit more. Did you come off the turnbuckle, or were you the guy on the mat?
No, I was actually an amateur wrestler in high school.
See, there we go.
Yeah,
we caught him.
We did not have. We didn't do turnbuckles or chair shots or anything.
There we go.
Like
We caught him. He's like FBI man. Moen doesn't share a lot of details. We figured out a little bit more about him. Thank you so much. MBM checking in, representing Oklahoma State Cowboys. $10 super chat. Also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. The Big Ten and SEC will both small scoop. By the way, did Greg come up with the small scoop, big scoop?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Greg.
Let's give Greg. So peek around the corner, Greg Flugar. And the ACC will backfill. Book it. Go Pokes. I would just say that I think there's a high likelihood that all three of these things could happen. Big 12 gets 1 or 2 schools. The ACC creates whatever they're going to do, rebuild, and the Big Ten and SEC gets some schools. What do you guys think?
Well, I definitely think Greg came up with big scoop, small scoop. I'm a fat guy myself, Greg. I completely understand. I think the ACC will backfill, but I think that we've got to keep in consideration the possibility of trifurcation, a best of the rest conference of Big 12 and ACC schools that say, hey, let's combine our value and leave these jokers behind, and we're going to be the third conference, the whatever you want to call it conference.
There you go. There you go. Anybody else? You?
Well said.
No. Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. He deserves a sounder.
Oh, please. Yeah. Thanks for checking me.
And I want to make sure that he gets his Cartman West song.
Well, I'm a badass cowboy living in the cowboy days. Mickey, Mickey, scratch, yo, yo, bang, bang. Me and Artemis, large bug, go, says, stem a high act from the big metal spider. Wicked, scratch cowboy from the west side.
Let's have a poll right now, Moen. I want you to put a poll up right this second. Is Moen Cartman? I want to hear it right now. If everybody votes with me, is Moen Cartman or not?
All right.
Let's do it right now. Put a vote up. Is Moen Cartman or not? All right. That's all the super chats. Oh, check this. Lonnie Johansson gifted 1 College Football Mafia membership. Thank you so much, Lonnie.
Absolutely. That gifted membership went to our friend Troy V. I don't know what to play for you, Lonnie, man. I've played 3 songs already. Let's go ahead and do a Randy hot.
Thank you so much, Lonnie. If you also want to give yourself a membership, we do believe I do personally, about karma in your life. You pay it forward, you do good things, and good things come back to you. So Lonnie has gifted somebody else a membership. If you received a membership for free, or if you want to give somebody else a membership, just hit that little $ next to the comment box, and you can walk through there. You can do super stickers, membership, gift, all that stuff, right, Moen?
Absolutely can. Troy V received that membership. He can now access all the membership benefits. That includes membership videos like WildUte University and Moen Rants. It also includes access to the College Football Mafia special emote catalog.
Let's go.
Lots of special emotes there for our members to use. Please don't forget them, guys. You can use them. We've got them up there. We've got things like Let 'em Cook. We've got the glass of milk. We've got Ute's O-Face. Let me put that in chat for you. Right there. Those are all available with the College Football Mafia Network membership. Troy V, you can now freely use those thanks to our friend Lonnie Johansson. So thank you, Lonnie.
And one last memo. If you're a new member or you'd like to do any videos in our membership library, Ute has done a ton on realignment, the business of college football, everything else. Ute, you want to quickly speak about those?
Absolutely. We love doing data analysis on realignment candidates, especially. We've got a ton of content on the channel. Go check it out. A lot of members-only videos, too. We'll make more in the future. Take a look.
All right, very good. And then we got Cranky Tiger is also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Appreciate that. $19.07. So we're having now a one up. We went from $14.07 to $19.07. It's comical that everyone laughs at how weak the ACC is and sit around in a circle jerk over what ACC teams are going to their conference. Thank you, Cranky. We're here for you, brother.
Hey, Cranky, we don't have Clemson on the list, so I'm going to give you a Tiger roar.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, I think Clemson is a legitimate Big Ten target, and I think they got to push it to the limit.
Yes. Let's go. We need a Top Gun sounder. There's so much stuff you could add, Moen. Come on. Thank you so much, Cranky Tiger. We really appreciate your super chat. It helps us keep the lights on. And what we do around here, we really appreciate you. Well, if you're watching right now on X, jump over on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. There are so many people watching on YouTube that have not hit the subscribe button. I'm not sure why. You can even hate us and still hit subscribe. It's free. And then please turn on your notifications, leave it a comment, question, or give us a thumbs up. All right, Ute, the last two schools.
Subscribe so you don't flunk realignment, guys. Just remember that. Okay, so the Syracuse Orange. Or the Orange now, the Orange men of old. Okay, so Syracuse. Talked a lot about Syracuse on this channel. Done a few videos on Syracuse and Big 12 fit. Actually is a pretty good fit, but where do they stack compared to some of the other high priority targets? And where do they stack up against a school like UConn? Curious to hear Daniel Gygax's thoughts on that.
Okay. I'm going to be biased. My grandmother graduated from Syracuse. Yeah. But their football's not horrible. Is it one of those things that you would sit there and say, yes, you have to have Syracuse? Maybe. It does get you up into the Northeast. I would say probably a high value target, or high value fallback, just due to the fact that there are some issues that you have. I mean, Donovan McNabb hasn't been in that building for 25 years. So that right there, I mean, their attendance isn't bad. It's still a little shade under 40,000.
Moen.
I got Syracuse as a high value fallback. And I've got them in front of UConn. The Carrier Dome, great place to play football. Fran Brown has that team on the upswing. I think they made the right hire with Fran Brown. He has done an excellent job in the portal, an excellent job recruiting. The basketball brand has kind of fallen off in the last couple of years.
Haim's gone.
Yeah, I think they need to fix that basketball situation badly. The good thing with Syracuse, just like UConn, it gets you into the New York market. So I like Syracuse as a high value fallback. I'm not going to put them as a primary target, but a high value fallback.
Nate.
Everything Moen said.
Okay. So I was thinking high value fallback or strategic ad. So I'm with you guys. I think they are ahead of UConn. I was thinking more strategic ad. I just don't know if they're on the same pecking order as a Georgia Tech.
I would say yes.
Okay, then let's move it. Let's move Syracuse behind Georgia Tech as a high value fallback. Where they belong.
Yep,
I agree.
All right, the last school out of the 13 we're talking about tonight, the Washington State Cougars. Nate, where does Washington State, who you love the Cougars.
I do.
Where do they fall in the Big 12 realignments?
They're ahead of Miami. No, I would love to say that. Look, I grew up in southeastern Washington. We used to go to Washington State Cougar games all the time. Behind BYU, they were probably the easiest and funnest program to follow when I was growing up. But at the end of the day, just like Oregon State has been hit with the realignment, no money, lack of resources, shutting down athletic. I mean, it's been terrible what's happened to Oregon State and Washington State. I would just put them on the same level as Oregon State, just behind them, because they are a power program that's just been starved of assets. So that's where I would go.
I love Washington State. I love a lot about Washington State. The problem that they have is they've been told no a couple of times. I don't see, nothing has changed since 2023 whenever they were told no then. Are they going to go ahead and move Washington State up? And, oh, yeah, by the way, they still have the same issue Oregon State has with the lawsuit. Let's say Washington State all of a sudden announces, hey, we're now going to the Big 12. And they've got that Pac-12 Mountain West lawsuit. Whew, things are going to get ugly quick. I say strategic ad.
Okay. Moen?
Last resort.
Oh, come on, Moen.
And by the way, no, last resort. Listen, I think Oregon State and Washington State are both last resort. It's nothing against the teams. Look, they're far out there in the Pacific Northwest. The Big 12 needs to go east. They do not need to go any further west.
That's true.
They're a last resort, and as far as I'm concerned, they should pay the Mountain West every single penny that they owe them.
Give them a break. Washington State's behind Oregon State in the ordering. Great fan base, small football stadium, good viewership ratings. You just don't need them if you're the Big 12. They're going to be behind Oregon State. So I'm thinking last resort, first position, head Tulane and Cal.
Can I ask you something, Ute?
Yeah, sure.
Why isn't Boise State on this list?
Boise State didn't make the cut based on the CFB Mafia assessment.
Right. The analytics is what you're saying?
Yeah, the group that we were chatting with to come up with this list, they were one of the first out. And if Boise State was on this list, I would put them in last resort behind Cal.
Oh, see, I would have them much higher. So that's why I'm glad we talked about that, because you can only do what you can do. So I was just curious.
They just didn't quite make the 13. So here is the tier rankings, the Big 12 realignment tier rankings. How do we do?
Shouldn't we move up Virginia Tech so we have 4 in the?
I think so.
Let's move up Duke instead.
No.
Are they? I mean, do we need 4 must-haves though? I think that's 3 that we got. It makes sense.
I mean, you could even say, realistically, is Miami even going to be there? So then you're down to 2. Sure. Then you could see a Virginia Tech and a Duke, right? And that could be a solid 4. I could see that. But if Miami's on the table, they have to be the number 1, paying whatever it takes.
That actually is my top 4 for the Big 12. North Carolina State, Louisville, Virginia Tech, and Duke.
See? There you go.
Yeah. So Miami's off the board.
Well, we had Duke and NC State. They're like 20 miles apart.
Because Duke has the number 1 basketball brand.
Yeah,
no, they don't. UNC does.
No, Duke does. I checked it on multiple different applications, Daniel. Duke is considered the most valuable basketball brand in America. And Manny Diaz did a good job as coach last year. Mike Elko did a good job as football coach the year prior. They basically lost their coach to an SEC, which is considered, for some reason, still the premier conference in college football. They lost their coach to Texas A&M. So I think their football's on an upswing. They've got the most valuable basketball brand. I get it. It's academic snobbery. I understand they don't fit. But Duke basketball inside the Big 12 with Louisville basketball, North Carolina State basketball, Kansas basketball, Arizona basketball, to me, it's a no-brainer.
Just so you know, Grok says it's UNC. I thought it was UNC.
Grok is wrong because
it's UNC.
It's
UNC.
I think it's UNC.
It's like saying Georgia is a bigger brand than Ohio State. No.
Georgia's not. I'm using ChatGPT paid. So
okay. I'm using Grok. Yeah. Anyway. The point is, they're very valuable, both of them. There's no reason to get into debate about that.
North Carolina is not going to be available on this list, guys. So.
No. And I don't think Duke is either.
I tend to agree.
Yeah.